Hi, Tina.
I think we're live.
You are live.
Are we live?
We're
We're
live.
live.
We're live. Hey, Ben Edtl.
David Darnell, my friend, how are you?
Well, I'm a small business owner, Ben, and I'd love to take some of your money for my product or my service, but I need to see your medical records first.
Yes, let me get those.
What is up with this crap? I mean, we all grew up, watching, if we didn't watch Hogan's Heroes, we watched other, movies and stuff about Nazi Germany. What is this? Can I see your papers, please?
Well, it's not even the Nazi Germans that are asking us for the papers. It's our local shops. I got my wife this cute little necklace for her birthday last month, and it got tied into a knot. So today I went over to the jeweler that I bought it from, and I walked in there, no mask, right? Like I'm just walking in. They got the big plexiglass, and the person behind there all masked up. And I said, "Do I got to wear a mask?" And the guy goes, "Not if you've been vaccinated." I went, "Fantastic." And I just walked right in there.
Yeah, first the governor has weaponized the agencies, the OLCC and OSHA, all that, and now the governor is trying to weaponize small business, and this is just absolutely ridiculous. This is so fraught with so many opportunities for fraud and lawsuits, and I mean, I can't believe that we're living in this state, Ben.
Totally. Think about this. Think about this in 2019. If a business asked you for your medical history, which is a HIPAA violation, 1,000% it is, and then they did it in order to let you walk in, like wearing something on your body, like it's just unfathomable to me. They would be sued left and right. No business in their right mind. I'm a business owner. No business owner in their right mind would engage with somebody's medical history before coming into their business. Like, this is the most insane thing I think I've seen to date. And we've seen a lot of insane things, but getting small businesses to be the police force of the far left in the state of Oregon is absolutely crazy to me. It's just impossible to fathom.
Yeah, it is. It's the governor has fabricated an untenable relationship between businesses and their customers. You can't have a relationship with your customers when you've got to probe their medical records. And and who the hell are you going to give your medical? I mean, is it anybody's business if you're vaccinated or not? Yeah, God, it just drives me crazy.
It's such a simple thing. If there's probably never a Democrat in the world watching this, I wish there would be. But if there was a Democrat watching this right now, I just want to ask, if you've been vaccinated, why do you care if someone else is not vaccinated? You're protected. You're vaccinated. Why should anyone else need to get vaccinated according to you? This is totally, I don't even have the word for it. It's like an oxymoron. It's completely.
Yeah. It's like it's not about health at all. It's another class division. We're creating another class of people. The preferred class of people to Oregon Democrats is those that have been vaccinated. And I'm not an anti-vaxxer. I don't care.
I've never gotten a vaccination. This is the first vaccination I decided I wanted to wait on for good reason. I'm a flu shot every year. My kids are all vaccinated. Like, I have no problem with modern medicine and technology, except RNA, DNA changing is a little bit weird. I'd like to give it a little. Let's let the focus group finish first. Control group, which we are. So I just
I think the best you can call this is the largest clinical trial probably in the history of mankind. So the reason we're here is we've come up with the vaccination for all of this, and that vaccination is to codify into local law the supremacy of the U.S. Constitution and the Oregon Constitution. And so we have a plan. We've developed a resolution. We've developed an ordinance that we can bring before interested county commissions, interested city councils, that will allow them to pass this resolution, pass an ordinance that allows their employees to say no to enforcing unconstitutional executive orders and unconstitutional laws that come out of Salem. We've tried every avenue. We brought lawsuits. We were shut down on the lawsuits. We've tried, calling all of our legislators, no help from the legislature. And, truly, Ben, I think this is the last resort here. We're just going to have to make constitutional sanctuaries wherever we can.
In the United States of America. I mean, this is getting weirder and weirder and weirder. I mean, if you think about it, 2 weeks to flatten the curve to where we are now, where the hostess at a restaurant is going to ask you for your vaccination records to be able to come in without a mask. Listen, people have to wake up. This is getting weirder and weirder and weirder. And today, I'm a basketball fan. I'm a huge basketball fan. We're watching the play-in tournament with Boston and somebody else. They're in Massachusetts. Massachusetts lifted pretty much everything that past week, and all the coaches and the players on the bench in the NBA are wearing their masks. And it's like,
yeah,
I don't understand.
Yeah.
And the other thing that's crazy, and they've all been vaccinated. They were vaccinated a long time ago, and even if they did get sick, these guys are the studs of the earth. COVID's not going to hurt any of them. Never had. And the other thing that's so weird that you brought up too, David, is that these businesses are forcing their employees to divulge what their medical history now, which is in violation of HIPAA. The employees they do not have to tell their employers about their medical history. And Costco, which has lifted their mask mandates, I believe, throughout the state, I've seen the release form that they're forcing their employees to sign, which says, I am giving up my HIPAA rights and giving up my medical privacy. And I'm going to tell you what my vaccination record is in order to keep my job. So what's the difference? If you ask a lawyer, what's the difference?
Yeah, it's like you say, this is getting weirder and weirder. This is well beyond it can never happen here. It is happening here. And I never thought I'd live to see the day when this stuff would be happening. And I'm not sure how far down the road it is before worse things happen. But I'll tell you what, we've got to make a stand, and that's what Stand for Freedom is. So Stand for Freedom is a resolution and an ordinance backed up by the signatures of people within the city, the signatures of people within the county. We've got a petition. You sign it up. We'll go present it to interested counties. We'll go present it to interested cities, and we'll take a stand at the local level and say, no further. This is the line in the sand, and we're just not going to. We're not going to comply. And that's what we've been left with as Oregonians. Even while our fellow Americans in many, many states don't have any of this stuff anymore.
And you know what else they don't have? COVID-19. Look at Texas. Look at Florida. They took the masks off and the numbers dropped. I mean, think about this. You're walking through getting the COVID particles are 1,000 times smaller between the distance of the threads on a KN95, right? So you've got this filthy, dirty thing across your face and your nose all day long. And I don't care if you wash it every day or every other day or twice a day. It doesn't take long for that thing to get filthy. Our skin repels things, and we have an immune system, and there's constantly, it's perspiring and moving things off of our face, right? But the mask traps whatever it catches right in front of your mouth and your nose. If COVID gets inside of your mask and it coalesces like at a grocery store or wherever you may be, then those COVID particles can hang all over your mask, and you sit there and you're getting 15, 20, 30, 40-minute exposures to COVID through the mask. Why hasn't this been brought up? The reality is that if masks were healthy, we'd be wearing them for the last couple 100,000 years, and we don't. And we're not, because it isn't healthy. So we have to stand up to this government that we have in Oregon, because it's not the United States all around. A lot of states are like, no way, this is the United States of America. In Oregon, we have a Marxist revolution that's happening right now, and it's been happening. And part of that revolution is if you wear your mask, then you're one of us. And if you don't, then you're not one of us. But guess who's not going to wear a mask? Guess who's going to question all the logic? Guess who's going to follow the real science? Well, independent thinkers. And how many, where are the independent thinkers? They're right of center. I mean, there's some left of center, but they're not, once you go down the left, you're indoctrination land at that point.
Yeah, well, I think this is going to cost Oregon Democrats a lot like the forced vaccination bill of a couple of years ago that started and brought out the the vaccine and the vaccine moms, or the medical freedom moms, is what I meant to say. Who aren't particularly, not necessarily anti-vax, but being forced to be vaccinated regardless of any medical condition or any religious exemption is just beyond the pale in America. And here we are, like you say, in the state of Oregon. So, I encourage everybody to sign this petition. You can sign it online. We've got a link that you can share, in all your groups, send it out to your emails, your church, your workers, your, fellow employees and all that stuff. And then we have petitions that you can download. And I know that you were at a big rally over the weekend at Salem. And I know we were there collecting signatures. So, if you know that there's something wrong, deep down, there's something wrong. And I think most people have some clue, even if they're not super critical thinkers, that something's really wrong here. And you don't know what to do. This is what you can do. You can sign this thing. You can get your friends to sign it. You'll take your name and collate it with the city and the county in which you live in. We'll bring it before the county commission, bring it before the city council. They can see that you support it in your city or in your county, and we'll see if we can't get it passed.
Yeah, and we got to have your signatures to do it. We have to get the signatures because, I'm a good salesman, right? David, you're a good salesman. We can get in front of these councils and commissions, and we can pitch till the cows come home. But we got to have your signatures because that's the fuel in the tank. That's the leverage that we have. We have to show at the local level that the citizens, the Oregonians, are not going to put up with this nonsense anymore. And it is nonsensical.
It is.
This is a nonsensical situation. We have a governor who's in a perpetual emergency order where she can literally demand whatever it is she wants on her whim. Today, I feel like having the small businesses check people's vaccine passports, and maybe tomorrow that'll change. I mean, last week she was like, we're all going to mask up until 70% of kids 16 and older have their vaccination. And then 2 days later, she's like, okay, now, we're going to change it up again, because that's what tyrants do. They wake up in one mood and go to sleep in another mood, and the people pay the price.
Yeah. And we're getting jerked around like a yo-yo. And, and then business is, suffering. Everybody's suffering. I mean, business is just getting hammered. I don't know if you can tally the cost of this thing just in the state of Oregon. I mean, it's staggering the amount of money that has been lost by businesses.
I can tell you how much I lost.
How much you lose?
I lost over $500,000 in assets.
Wow. Yeah, just like that. Boom.
Yeah, and I had to borrow money from the feds because I was told 2 weeks to flatten the curve. Well, this will be done by August, or this will be done by September. So 2.5 months or 2.5 months of this, and we borrowed it. We still owe that money. So
wow.
We're even more beholden to the government because of the loans we took through the EIDL. So, we lost all those assets, and there's tons of debt. And I'm just one of tens of thousands of small business owners in this state.
Right.
I can tell you what
yeah, well. Yeah, I mean, and then, individuals have lost too. They've lost their freedom. They've lost their liberty. They've lost, how many, God, early on, people weren't able to go, they weren't able to be with their loved ones when they were dying in nursing homes.
Yeah.
They weren't able to have weddings. They weren't able to have baby showers. They weren't able to celebrate birthday parties and all of this stuff. And, man, the human cost, as well as the cost of business, is staggering. And I'm not sure how history is going to portray this. I guess history is written by those who win. So let's hope that we, the people, win so that we can properly portray this in history and it never happens again. But I'll tell you what, we need to do something, and stand for freedom is it. I'll give you the last word, Ben.
Well, 99.988% survival rate of a virus that has completely transformed our state into a totalitarian, draconian world. And most of us who get COVID-19 wouldn't even get a test because it wouldn't even affect you that much. Some of us that have, the numbers are so extraordinarily low. 2,500 people out of 4 million. Did you know that in Oregon, about 40,000 people just die average every single year? And we lost 2,500 people to COVID, and every single one of those deaths is tragic. But if you put 2,500 and you divide that by 40,000, you're going to come up with a pretty damn small number in terms of the threat COVID-19 had to Oregonians. And if you think all of this is worth that, you're not thinking.
I agree. Sign it and send it.
Sign it and send it, baby. We need you. Sign it and send it.
All right. Hey, thanks, everyone.
Thank you, Dave.
Thanks, Ben.